Scott, what did we just see?
Well, you saw a really, really powerful speech by one of the most popular and most progressive members of the Democratic Party. It felt like Barack Obama's speech here several years ago when he said that we're not the blue states or the red states, but we're the United States, and had that callback.
You know, it's fascinating. Every campaign, every convention gives one speech, gives one candidate who rises from the pack. Did she just rise from the pack? And if so, what does her political future look like?
Well, the question isn't what's next. The question is what's next. Because AOC, depending on polling and who you talk to, she could go to the Senate. She could be the next governor of New York if the timing is right. Campaigns are all about timing. The real question is, did we hear a speech where she may be in 10, 15 years or more the next Latina or the first Latina to be president? I don't think that's out of the question. At least today it's not out of the question. We'll see.
You know, one of the things that we talk about an awful lot is statehood and D.C. becoming the 51st state. It has been a pipe dream for so long, but based on the speech that we just heard, the energy in this crowd, the sense that they not only want to go after the White House, but they want to keep the Senate and they want to flip the Congress. Could this be the year the D.C. statehood goes from being a pipe dream to a reality?
Well, there have been at least 2 or 3 occasions when the Democrats have had the House, the Senate, and the White House, and statehood never was voted upon, or there wasn't a constitutional amendment, or whatever that process is. There are 2 or 3 ways to statehood. That was always disappointing. As a former state party chair, my position always was that the real problem with statehood isn't just the Republicans, it's the Democrats too. The Republicans don't want it because those are going to be Democratic seats. The Democrats don't want it because they're just insensitive or they just pay lip service to it, but it's not really a core value of theirs. Now, it's in the Democratic platform and has been for several years, but conversation is one thing. Political rhetoric is one thing. Political reality is there's got to be a manifestation of a vote and intentionality. And the Democrats don't have that right now when it comes to statehood for D.C. or Puerto Rico.
I'm curious, tonight is going to be the swan song of Joe Biden. And we've both known him for quite some time.
Yeah.
And we have seen him change from being the gregarious guy that always had a joke, always was a guy that would pat you on the back, to the guy that really moved into the White House and took over the White House. What will his legacy be?
I'm sorry?
What will his legacy be?
Oh, I think he'll be one of the most consequential presidents, if not the most consequential presidents of the United States of America. And let me tell you why. When he steps on that stage tonight, he's going to be the most powerful man, most powerful human being in this stadium. And I'll tell you why. He saved democracy in 2020 by beating Donald Trump. He saved democracy in 2024 by not running and stepping back and supporting Kamala Harris. Let's remember, without Joe Biden and his decision to step back, that selfless political decision, there'd be no Kamala Harris, there'd be no energy, there'd be no movement, there'd be no convention like this right now. That makes him the most consequential president of our time.
What is the difference between, and we both were there, Barack Obama in 2008, walking across that stage in Grant Park, Jesse Jackson with the tear coming down his eye, his cheek. What's the difference between that energy and this energy now?
Well, it feels a lot alike. It really does. I mean, you know, hope is something that, you know, is organic. It's not falsely created. And this is a country that's deeply divided, is starving for hope, starving for transformative and servant leadership versus selfless leadership versus selfish leadership. And you get that, you feel that with Harris, and you feel that with Walz. And so that's what this country is starving for. I don't think you're going to get away from the divisiveness, but the Democrats are offering hope and joy and positive energy that we haven't felt in a while. Remember, we're still coming out of COVID, and so that's the difference maker. I believe this movement is going to produce a Democratic House, Senate, and White House, and then maybe we can move this country forward.
A. Scott Bolden, former DNC chair. Scott, as always, we appreciate it.
Good seeing you. Thank you.
You got it. We'll be right back. Stay with us.